Hello, and welcome to the very first Aurora Esports Overwatch Clash MVP nominee. Now, we've done this in the past for the Go for Watch League, but obviously, new name, new branding, new MVP. So, I'm here with the Go for Watch League Season 5.5 MVP, Mr. RiddleDog himself. Hello,
Hello,
Tyler. How are you?
I'm
I
good.
love the dog.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce her?
This is Maggie, my long-haired miniature dachshund. So yeah, he's doing
I
good
love
as
I
well.
love her. We have a tradition now of going through a certain number of questions, right? Very first one. As a former MVP, what do you think it means to be an MVP?
Well, I think one of the main things about being an MVP or having an MVP for like each team is it's like a pillar of the team really, whether it be like for comm structure or how they play or whatever. Like on the OTs, I was able to help out a lot on the support role, like fancy on the tank role with comms and everything. But it doesn't have to be just that as well. It doesn't have to be like your Mikey as well or Khan who just is able to carry the games.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. A lot of the times, what it comes down to when you're kind of deciding on who to vote for is what you see as a viewer. And a lot of the times, you can't really hear, what's going on with the comms, which is why I love it when we do have those like producers and everything join in to listen to what's happening. But we don't get a lot of that. So it's really, really difficult to see those kind of subtle carries, I guess, with the comms and everything. So I 100% agree. Um, yeah. So that being said, you kind of described what you kind of value a little bit more. So who do you think, anybody in the league, who do you think should get MVP this season?
I can definitely see someone like Poke from the Handsome Hogs getting it. I remember on the draft, not many people expect him going as early as first round as well, and people weren't sure what EJ was cooking, but it seemed like he was cooking something really good as they won every single game in the regular season so far, and that a lot of credit was due to Poke as well. I heard from people like Goku that he thinks he's one of the best tanks in the league just because of how he's able to coordinate with the rest of his team. And it was unexpected how well he'd perform as well. So I can definitely see him with how he's able to work with his team and also help carry the team to success.
For sure. I've been on a team with Poke before. I love the guy. He's amazing. Um, he's definitely one of I remember even on the draft desk, I did not expect him going that high. But tanks right now for Overwatch 2 have proved to be very, very valuable. So it was a very interesting season to start off with here. So you heard our picks for MVPs, but sadly some of those are not going to pan out. But we do have 11 other wonderful MVP nominees from each of your captains.
So, Eddie, have you enjoyed the Muffin Lumps experience?
Honestly, he's just a great guy. He always does the 1v1 Lucio's. He always try to brag he got more damage. And he brings the positive vibes that we need as a team sometimes. Yeah, he's just a great leader. And for my first season, I think this was a great experience.
So, Go Seek. A little birdie has told me before, there's kind of a story behind your name than like what a lot of people really know it for. Can you tell us that story of how you came up with the screen name of Go Seek?
So for a while, I didn't really have any username that I really cared too much about. I wanted to have some sort of personal touch on it, and I chose Go Seek because my last name is Hayden, and it's spelt differently than like hiding, but people have made jokes before on it, and it's kind of the easiest way for me to tell people how to pronounce it, because if you see it spelt, it doesn't phonetically look like that. So when you when I tell somebody how to pronounce my name, it's kind of like Hayden Go Seek. So I chose Go Seek because it kind of ends up being something that goes along with who I am already.
Nathan, hello.
Yo, what's up, man?
It's going all right. So, Who's better at paladins? Trey or Connor?
Oh, that is hard. I think they're better at different aspects of the game. I think Trey more of an IO player, more of a Ray player. They also play Grover, like he's got the support characters locked down, but I know Fedora is more about the Sati, making some aggro plays with Rom and flanking on the Sati. So, I don't know though. I think Fedora has more carry potential, so maybe I go with Fedora, but Trey is definitely a solid support player, so.
Alright, so, Master Yoda, how thinkest thou of fish sticks?
Well, unfortunately, I'm a really picky eater, and fish just doesn't quite fit the menu, Just there's something fishy about it. I just haven't had it in a while.
That is a little fishy, I gotta say. I really
Yeah,
like what you see
there's something going on around these parts.
All right. Hi, Vind. Thank you for stopping in. So I got a quick question for you. I was going to ask if you're a big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Well, I've actually only seen, I think, one of the movies before, and it was years ago. I don't even remember which one.
So
Maybe
how'd you decide on your Vindy man, on your tag, if clearly not a giant Vin Diesel stan?
Yeah, I've heard that people thought it was about Vin Diesel, but it's actually just part of my name. I don't know, when I came up with this, maybe 6th grade, it was when I first got a Xbox and I had to come up with a name, so I just put Vindy Man down.
Alright, Mr. Goku. What are your thoughts on the current Pizza Pirates, and could they beat the old Pizza Pirates when you're on it?
Speaking off of results, I would say no. That being said, the Collegiate's a very different spot now than it used to be. I think our roster that placed, top 8 nationally was quite a good roster at the time. I don't think most of those players even play Overwatch anymore. And so I would say probably would not face off well nowadays. But I like to think we were pretty good in our primes. It was me, Crazy Flames, Tommy, Trick Plays Woo, and then Corey, and then Bonesy and Khan was the main roster. But I don't want to discount my boy Rusty Goomba, who was longtime bag holder / bench boy. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't even know who's fully on the Pizza Pirates roster right now. I just can assume that we'd, destroy them. At least in our prime, right? Obviously, you can't go back to the old ways, but...
So, point. When are you bringing back the Reddit Lucio from GGU?
I don't think my fans want to see that.
I'm sure they do.
I feel like no one has ever asked me to put Lucio in my life in like a serious competitive context.
That's just because they haven't seen it like I have.
I don't think we did that good in GGU when I played Lucio.
I remember never having a Lucio, but I remember there you being in the kill feed, okay? That's all that matters. As long as you were in the kill feed, that's all that matters.
I see.
Mr. Thick Boy here. A wise woman once said that my milkshake brings all of the boys to the yard. All right. So my question for you today is, how thick do you like your milkshake?
An excellent question from a very wise source. Thick enough to choke on has to be the answer.
Oh, all right. So you want the straw to be clogged as you?
Absolutely. You gotta use a spoon for at least half of it.
Good answer.
All right, Mr. Zergling, is there any chance we're gonna see you pull out that Zergling Doomfist again next season?
There is a 0% chance that I will be on the Doomfist character ever again, unless I'm hard throwing the game. Because I am bad at new Doomfist. I've played like an hour.
Tragedy. So the Doomfist to tank change does not suit you well.
No, it is very sad for me. I always tell my friend like, oh no, they removed my favorite character, but I just haven't learned his new moves or anything.
Whalefish, what is your Pokemon meta for the new games?
I've always been a big Life Orb Gastrodon enjoyer. That hasn't changed coming into the new games. Thankfully, Gastron was not cut from the decks, so I'm still rocking that.
That's huge.
So, Typhoon, can you please tell me why you never say hi to Bunny on campus?
I do say hi when I see her, but like a lot of time, like she's just behind me and I just never noticed, and she's just pissed that like I just didn't say hi when I don't even know she's around me.
Ah, okay. The classic. I didn't see you there. I see.
I mean, it's real. So.
So wait, okay, I forgot how to do interview. 1 sec. Dude, it's been like a week, man. Sorry.